Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Nat Walsh. Today we are involved in a little bit of a video hop. So the theme of this hop is summer, which is really mean because I'm in Australia and we're freezing our little butts off. But anyway, it's all part of the fun. So I don't have much paper or anything around for summer, but what I did have was this penny black stamp, and she's pretty cute. She is called, she's called Beach Baby. Beach Baby by Penny Black. She's pretty cute. So, as I said, this is a part of a blog hop. There's actually even a prize. There is the prize that you can win is one of two of Echo Park Summer Dots and Stripes. This is a 6x6 paper. This is offered by Kendra's Cards. So the Kendra's Cards challenge, I should say. Just having thing, make sure. So winners are going to be announced on the 7th of June. And of course, this is not sponsored by Echo Park at all. Okay, just to let you know, this is not sponsored by YouTube or Echo Park. This is purely by Kendra Cards Challenge. So, and that link will all be down below in the description bar as well. I've had to keep this video limited to about 10 to 12 minutes. I think it was roughly around about 10 to 12 minutes. So I don't even know where I'm up to if I've got 10 to 12 minutes, but let's just going to say it's about that. So I've cut out a lot of the coloring. So I've used Desert Sand Memento ink with this little girl, and we're going to use do a little bit of no line coloring. And obviously, if you haven't figured it out, we're going to use some Copics. So I've coloured her skin with the normal colours that I have. So that's E04, E11, EOO, and EOOO. And I've just made her, because in theory, the sun would be coming down on the front of her. Although I've given her a highlight. I couldn't help myself. I had to give a highlight in her hat. So the back of her arms are shaded. The very back near her ear is all shaded up. And of course the bottom of her legs. Strictly speaking, I've just put the shading in the wrong spot on the back of her hat. But forgive me, because apparently I was just not really thinking too much. So we're using RV99. R59, RV34, and RV32. And what I do need to do is a little bit of tip-to-tip colouring transfer between the R59 and RV34. It's just a little bit, 5 is a little bit too far of a jump, but you know, we make it work. So next time, if you colour a little girl like this that's sitting on the beach, make sure you put her highlighted part of her hat at the front there, not the side, but you know, this is what happens. But honestly, you know, she's really cute, and anyone who's going to sit there and go, your highlight's not in the right area, you need to give your card to someone else. So we're going to come in now with our BV29, BG79, BG75, and BG72 for just a little green tealy sort of combination on the rest of her, on her hat. And we're also going to colour in her little swimmers. In Australia we call them cozies or bathers. So we're going to have the same colour go right through. So she's a little bit matchy-matchy. I did struggle with this bow a little bit. I'm going to be pretty open and honest with you guys because, you know, this is a learning thing. So if I tell you that something should be around the other way. This is to help you because I've already stuffed it. So put your highlight on your hat. Think about your shadowing of where your hat, where your sun is coming from. So don't put your highlight on the side of the hat, put it on the very front. And the bow, if it went, okay, creative license with the bow, because if the bow was at the back of her hat, there will be a little bit darker, but then it's a bright sunny day. So it's also going to have a bit of color. So there's a bit of creative license. There's 2 parts on her hat that I've missed. I will come back to it. You'll see that. Her towel, I added a couple of bit of shading with that. I've never really colored a towel, especially a towel on the beach, because of course it's all bumpy and lumpy. We're using B99, B97, 95, and we're going to go down to 93. So I'm using some of the images, the lines that are already in the stamp, that are already giving us sort of where there's going to be folds and lumps and bumps. Because of course sand is not flat unless the wave has just gone over it, then it's flat. But if she's sitting down in the waves, she's going to be wet. So I'm trying to put a little bit of darkness underneath her body. It looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast now, but it will all come together. Trust me. And it can be a little bit hard with no line coloring. It's not a beginner's technique. With no line coloring, the images do disappear pretty quickly. And you have to be careful, like with all her toes, for example, and all her fingers, of making sure that you don't suddenly color a finger a towel color. So the towel did cause me a bit of grief. We're trying to figure out where things go. But in the long run, I'm happy with it. It's, as I said, it's not something I've colored in very often, but I'm quite happy with how that goes. So we're just going to keep going until I was happy with it. Just keep plodding away. Just touching up more of my lumpy bits. I don't know, if I'm going to look at it and try and figure out where I went wrong, I'll probably be here all day. But I don't think I should have put so as dark of bumps and lumps. But anyway, it's done now, and it's still quite cute. It's still quite cute. If I'm being very critical of myself, but that's what we tend to do, aren't we? We tend to be a little bit critical of our own work. Going down to the sand. The sand has obviously a lot of texture, so I'm using E57, 55 and 31. And with the darkest color, I'm just underneath her, I'm just doing more dots and trying to go as light as I can. And doing a couple of other dots sort of further out, like down the bottom of the page. I mean, some of this is going to cut because we're going to have to cut off because you'll see I get something on the top of my image. I ummed and ahed about colors that I should do my sentiment in, and I should have kept with what I wanted in the first place, but I didn't. I'm using the E31 for just to blend everything in, but I'm also coming back through with some little dots and making it a bit heavier. I'm doing one side of this so I can cut off, do it off camera, do the rest of it. Voila, there you go. Just going to go back in with some light strokes, and I'm just using the E55 and then going over it briefly with the E31. Sentiment. So I put it in my, you can't see it, but I've got the little splodge thing up underneath my magnet there. So I'm going to cut it right down to this rectangle using paper resin nesting rectangles. We're using again some desert sand. That was the only one that I really liked. So you can sort of see it there. And there we go, we've all cut it out. I'm going to mount this up on some other crafty coloured cardstock. And then we're going to use a bit of foam to mount it up. So that's my card, apart from we're going to add a little bit of Wink Stella, and that's about it. So as I said, all her Kendra cards challenge will be down below. Also this is a hashtag driven hop. So if you, into the search bar, you put the hashtag Team Tiny Summer Hop, then that will pop up all the other videos and you can hop along using that hashtag. The boys are now home, so this video is nearly done, so at least it's not too noisy. But I hope you enjoy. If you're not yet a subscriber, please think about subscribing and hit that little bell and you get notified whenever I have a new video. That's my video, that's my card. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you comment below to be in the prize. Take care.